Everyone is Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe if you want to get notifications from when we go live or post videos, tap the bell. And if you want to get connected to the UVH fam, links are below for a free options trading group and our Discord. I'm getting back into the groove of things here. I'm going to do a recap video today, or kind of not really a recap, but more looking along the lines of what I'm looking forward to this week, kind of what I'm thinking of in terms of the market, some of the plays that I'm thinking of, and just to be safe here, this is my opinion, not financial advice, of course. It's just my opinion. I'm just showing you kind of the way that I'm looking at the market right now, right or wrong. It's just my opinion. So let's kind of get into it. SPY, what I've been looking at in terms of SPY, right now the bulls have been in charge ever since we bottomed out here at like the 275 range back in June. We came back around 275 and just been on a pretty much nonstop tear. One of the things that I was looking at right here was at 295. 295, we kind of hit resistance here in April. We also hit it at 293, 294 area back in September before we started having that massive sell-off where people were saying, "Hey, we're going to a bear market." Doom and gloom, recessions on the rise, on the way. But looking at things here, bulls pretty much just bought this major dip here and just been pushing it forward. It's been pretty much green almost every single day, and when it wasn't green, it was very small down days and just kind of melted up. All of April we just kind of melted up. We did have some down moves in May and June, but that was pretty much it. We haven't had really any major down moves since June, and now that we're kind of coasting above this 295, which was resistance before, resistance area, 293, 295 area, we closed at 297. We did have some rejection on Friday here. If you're looking at SPY, SPY did sell off quite a bit, but we do have quite a bit of earnings. One of the things that is pretty much going to shake the market up is earnings, and then the question isn't whether the Fed is going to cut rates, which is, it's just insane. Like, we're sitting at all-time highs, and like, well, maybe we should cut rates, maybe we shouldn't cut rates. I think we're going to cut rates so we can keep the market going higher. Typically you cut rates when in economic downturns, and you need to have some ammo for when things get really bad. And they're talking about cutting rates, which they just raised because honestly, I think it's very political in terms of who's in the hot seat, whether it's Trump or Powell or whoever's in the hot seat. They're pretty much playing hot potato with the economy, and it seems to be that they're willing to make the market go higher no matter what, whether it's good or bad for the long term. And it seems to me they're pretty much sacrificing the long term for short-term gains because they're in the hot seat right now. When Trump is out of office, whoever's out of office, when Powell's not in the hot seat anymore, it's the next guy's problem, right? It's the next guy's problem. They're not gonna worry about it, which, it's good for them, not necessarily good for America or the economy. I would say, you typically don't want to cut rates at all-time highs, but hey, I'm just some dude on YouTube. What do I know about the economy? What do I know about the stock market, right? Just me, just my opinion. If leave your opinion below. I want to hear. Leave a comment below. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are this week. For this week in terms of the rate cut, and if you think we should be doing it. And so far, if this video has been of value to you, hit the like button. Definitely would appreciate it. Getting into the earnings on Tuesday, we have Snap. We also have Coca-Cola, Chipotle, and let's take a look at Snap here. One of the things, I do have some stock in Snap that I've been bag holding for a few years, and you're like, why didn't I buy more of the dip? Is because I already bought the dip a couple of times on Snap. And then when stocks keep going lower and lower, how many dips are you going to buy? I pretty much just held on, bag hold, because I really didn't care if I lost the money in the stock. And, in terms of stock positions and stock holding, especially like something like Snap, when you're not sure, you shouldn't put hard-earned money into stocks that are kind of flaky. I mean, Snap could have easily just went to penny stock land. I mean, almost did. I mean, below $5 is getting into penny stock land, honestly, and you don't put money into stocks that you can afford to lose. Don't mortgage your home, don't do anything, because things like this, and then you start making stupid mistakes because either you get margin calls or start feeling the squeeze. So it's a lot more relaxed when you're trading with money you don't need on a daily basis. So I have money in stocks, I have money in options and stuff like that, but none of that's like, I'm not going to lose my home because I made a bad trade. You don't want to do that. I mean, you don't want to be that guy. There's people out there like that. There's people out there that, but we won't need, let's not get into that. But anyways, Snap has been on a rip. Was pretty much consolidating down here after the last earnings report. We had some dips and it got bought up here, and now it just ripped since June 3rd all the way up to July 12th before giving some back. But it's really just been holding up here above 14. Man, my voice. I haven't made a YouTube video in a while, and it shows. But, I promise you guys, content's coming. I've been working real hard on a lot of content. Just, and plus it's a little late here. So that is Tuesday after close. I mean, Monday, I'm not really seeing many earnings that I'm very interested in. I mean, you got like GNC, which, is just a crappy little penny stock now. Just another retail play. Yeah, you don't want to play that. So I'm looking at Snap. Definitely going to move here, sitting above 52-week highs here. Well, not necessarily like just made 1624, but it did have a 52-week high just recently. You know what I mean. Let's go into looking at the 3-year chart here. It's got a bit of ways to go. I mean, it did kind of fill this gap up in here, but now it's just kind of sitting at 14. So I think this earnings is definitely going to be a catalyst. I usually don't like trading or buying premium I definitely don't like buying premium before earnings on a play like this. If it ran so much, I feel like the premium is going to be very high. I mean, sure, maybe they have killer earnings and Snap will go to 20 or maybe go down to 10, but typically I don't like to play. If I was going to do a play for earnings here, I'll most likely look at after earnings are released, do a play. I don't necessarily like when stocks run before earnings because it tells me more than that. Blah, blah. It tells me there's more of a chance of it staying the same once the report comes out. So if I was going to do that, I would sell some premium, maybe an iron condor or over a put spread. But if they beat earnings and things get real crazy, I mean, this could easily go up 20%, 30%, easily. I mean, there's so many people that are short Snap, it's ridiculous. Chipotle is another one, sitting at 52-week highs here as well, and you're kind of getting a little trend here. Things have been running, things have been hot. So they also have earnings Tuesday after close as well. Now on Wednesday, one of the interesting stocks here is Boeing. Wednesday before open, Boeing, they just got hit with that $5 billion charge for the 737 MAX mistakes, I guess you can call them, which caused planes to crash with a faulty sensor or whatever the case is. Either way, this has definitely been moving. You definitely don't want to get caught up when the stock is staying the same, but it has been moving. Went from 347 up to 380. The only thing I have to keep in mind here is that options get a bit pricey, being such a higher price stock. But it is pretty fun to trade if you can get a good position on it. Right now it's coming up on resistance here, right over here at the 380, 385 area. So we'll see if we can break above this. It's hard to. I honestly do not know what's going to be in this earnings report. I mean, it's hard. I can't even guess. It's gonna be crazy. So I'm definitely gonna be watching this one this week. Wednesday after close as well. Facebook has also been ripping. After they had this bad earnings last July. and they bombed from 218 down to 176. I mean, it's taken them almost a full year to get back up to this point over here. I mean, they're not that far from the 52-week high of 218. So I don't anticipate Facebook's numbers being that bad. However, Netflix, not to compare the two, but Netflix just had their worst report, the worst subscriber report in I don't know how many years, but they definitely bombed, definitely went beyond expectations here, went from 363 down to 315 close. I mean, actually went the day before was like 320, then it went down to 315. So it was just like, whew, it just got slaughtered. But I mean, if you're looking at Netflix here, I mean, you can kind of see here now we're in no man's land, which is going to make it good to trade. It could either rebound, which probably not likely. It could kind of consolidate down in this 320 range, or we can revisit down these lows here, down at 280 to 270, right down in here. So if you're holding on to Netflix, I mean, Netflix is a crazy stock anyways, but as you can see here, I mean, this did rebound with the market. As you can see here, when it does rebound, it gets crazy. Microsoft is another one that had earnings last week that ended up being a little bit lower. The report was pretty good. However, we had that down day and kind of messed things up here. I'm not sure. And that's just the way it goes. I mean, Microsoft it closed at like 136, went to 141, and then went back down to 136. So if you were selling premium, you made some good money. However, you had to be very, very patient, just watching it bleed all day down here. Just kind of slowly took the stairs down. Nothing dramatic or anything like that. And when charts like this for me it means like nobody was really panicking. They just kind of it just was having a down day. But it looks like even on Friday it closed green by 20 cents. So definitely ate some premium there. Did hit some highs, but came back down to earth. And then Wednesday as well is Tesla. Tesla has been making its way back up from 176 now 258. So it went up $75 in the last month and a half. Just insane how they did beat their delivery reports by like 5,000 cars, but they need to show profitability in a way for them to be profitable, because as you can see here, I mean, people started losing hope in Tesla. I mean, Tesla's always been a stock that a lot of people wanted to own, seen going places, but they get scared. They get scared when there's too much debt. They have no clear path to profitability. I mean, but then you could say the thing about Amazon as well. But however, the thing with Amazon though, they kept reinvesting their profits into their business, where it appears Tesla is just trying to stay afloat, and they have all these executives over the last year leave. It's just a mess. But just be aware. Tesla is definitely going to move on earnings. Which direction? I'm not sure, but this is definitely one that I'm going to be eyeing at. Maybe it could revisit 300, or it could crush it, come back down to 200. So it's going to be fun. Amazon as well has earnings on Thursday after market close. Sitting near all-time highs here. Kind of did the double tap at 2,000. Just been consolidating up in here. Just been kind of chilling. Kind of the same as some of the other stocks. I mean, if you look at here, like a lot of these charts kind of feel the same, where they're sitting at all-time highs, and they've revisited after taking the whole year to get back up to here. So, the question is the Fed going to propel these to go higher, or are they going to drop rates and the market's going to go down anyways? I mean, people, I think, are kind of gearing up for some for some downtimes in the market, but right now it's very tricky to trade here at all-time highs and the Fed. And then we also have that Iran issue. Our oil might be making a little bit of a rebound and something like that. I don't think we're going to war or anything, but things are getting a little heated in Iran as well. And then last but not least, one of the stocks that I'm looking at here as well is Twitter. They have earnings before open on Friday. And as you can see here, Twitter has not moved since last earnings. It has gone up, but essentially it's at 36 back in April and it's 36 now before earnings. So, it did make 36 to 40 and then came back down to 34. It does move. Twitter does move. I have played Twitter. I've owned Twitter stock. I've made a lot of money on Twitter. 2018 actually made quite a bit of money on these plays down in here. So it's definitely something that I'm looking to get re-engaged into. I haven't been trading it just because it really hasn't been that exciting for me, just because not really sure where it's going in terms of a catalyst. But I think after this earnings, if it can break this range here, if we can get up like 42 or come back down, it's definitely going to get a lot more exciting. So, like I said, just wanted a quick recap. I'm going to be engaging more with YouTube and more with the community. Just been working on the training and all the things that I have working on. I got a podcast working at the training materials coming out. Things are going to pop off. So, thank you guys for being patient. Thank you guys for sticking with me. If you're watching it this late at night, or if you're watching towards the end of this video, definitely appreciate you. You guys be safe, stay green. It's always us versus herd.